Mr. Boyd Wright on behalf of Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
All right, well, thank you. I'm substituting for Harry Crockett and/or Tina Jackson, who usually are available to give this update. For those of you that don't know, at Colorado Parks and Wildlife, herps are managed, they're bifurcated, right? So our aquatic section handles the amphibians, and our terrestrial section handles the reptiles. So, Tina Jackson is our species conservation coordinator. Harry, who you met in my colorful slide earlier, is our native aquatic species coordinator. And then there's four of us. You met Alex and I this morning. Really excited. We've had some turnover in our native aquatic species biologist positions this year. We've got Jen Logan. It shows Jen Logan up here. That's how recent it is. But that should say Tyler Swar is our new native aquatic species biologist in the Northwest region. And then, of course, you met Alex, and really excited. A lot of just energetic, strategic thinking, people that are passionate about amphibians now working on our team. So super excited about that. And as you'll see here in a few slides, we're doing more work with amphibians than we really have in previous times. So to start off, I just have one reptile update, and I'm not even sure it's much of an update. I think this might be more of a 2022 update, but it's my understanding that Texas A&M finished up a range-wide monitoring methodology program sometime in 2022 and started implementation through a contract with Steve Mackesy. Sorry if I said that wrong. And a lot of this effort will be great. It'll be an update to previous surveys from the 90s. And we also continue as an agency to coordinate and participate in the range-wide coordination meetings for Massasauga, Rattlesnake with the other states, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, and their researchers. Of course, you've heard a lot about boreal toads today, and here's a little bit more about them for you all. So a lot of our effort is devoted as an agency for amphibian conservation to the boreal toad. And so this slide has a bunch of numbers that are an update from the 2022 monitoring season. And I guess just a couple of notes on this. They're likely to be undercounts because we haven't received all the data from all of our partners. And also, this is not exclusively a CPW effort. A lot of work collected by, data collected by CNHP, Brad Lambert, who's here, and just a tremendous amount of work done by the Forest Service as well. But what you see is that we monitored 78 known breeding sites in the past year with 224 site visits. 26 of those had active breeding, which has held pretty steady for the past few years. Now these numbers might be a little biased, but we tend to focus our efforts where we know that toads are breeding for this. So we feel like it's probably pretty solid. We collected 375 swabs in 2022 for BD testing. We just got those results back yesterday, and still working through those, but it didn't look at initial glance like there was anything alarming. So that's good news. Don't believe that we confirmed any new breeding in 2022, any new sites. And just kind of as a reality check for these numbers that you're seeing up here, in the early 2000s we had 40 active sites, so that number that we're seeing now, 26, is quite a bit lower. One thing that we're really excited about and grateful for is growing collaboration with the Denver Zoo. You heard a lot about boreal toad translocations this morning. You heard about the dire state that boreal toads are in. As we have more translocations and potentially fewer active sites out on the landscape to take eggs from, it's going to be critically important that we figure out this piece of producing toads in captivity. And that's where Denver Zoo has come in. And just in their first year of raising toads for us, so we CPW transferred 95 toads from our native aquatic species restoration facility to the Denver Zoo, and they were able to successfully breed some of them this year, and it resulted in 500 tadpoles being released. So they were really successful doing this for Utah, and really hoping that this is just the beginning of a program that's going to grow and grow. Also, the Denver Zoo has a very extensive community science program that's going on right now. They had 99 volunteers participating in several dozen surveys, surveying old historic habitat and also sites that we steered them to as potential for future translocations or potential where toads could be that we don't know about. So they're doing a great job. Check it out, the Denver Zoo, if that's something you're interested in. And then in terms of additional toad work, you saw already that we've got 10 active translocation projects. There's one project that Larissa alluded to that we are not funders on, but certainly support, and that's Bennett's work on BD resistance or tolerance with boreal toads. There are two research projects that are ongoing or wrapping up that we either funded entirely or partially. One of them is this genomic sequencing project for boreal toads across the southern Rocky Mountains. And just sort of initially from that, some things we're finding is lower genetic diversity across the landscape than one might expect. These toads, these various breeding sites are all more related than you might think. But then also this probiotic study that we heard a little bit about this morning called Purple Rain. And I'll just caution you, if you Google Purple Rain, of course you're probably gonna get Prince first, right? So listen to it, great song, definitely take a moment. But yeah, the project also named Purple Rain because when they culture this J-live that helps with resistance on the skin of amphibians, it's purple, so that's why they call it Purple Rain. And then in terms of new work that we're doing that we're really excited about, we've got a contract in collaboration with CNHP and Colorado State University to better understand amphibians that are listed as Tier 2 in our State Wildlife Action Plan. And a lot of these are in the Southwest region. And so that project got off the ground here this past year. And of course, a lot of it was based on the work that this group does as part of their annual bio blitz down in the area. That's been really useful data. But you know, as is always the case, utilizing that to take a more systematic approach to evaluating the status of those critters. So Brad and his team did 130 surveys at 95 sites. Does that sound about right, Brad? Yeah. Roughly evenly split between previously surveyed sites and random sites, so following this dual frame approach. They encountered all the species they were looking for, which includes green toad, Couch's spadefoot, western narrowmouth toad, and plains leopard frog, plus a bunch of other herps. And they're planning, they got a meeting scheduled on Monday, planning for the second year, and that's just getting going. One thing that I've been involved with for about half a decade now is this Front Range working group for northern leopard frogs. And it's mostly comprised of city and county biologists, but also includes a consultant and a couple citizen scientists. And this group is really interested in coordinating our efforts on the Front Range for northern leopard frog conservation. We share information and lessons learned regarding habitat restoration, bullfrog control, and the newest thing that we're trying to pilot and launch this year is a northern leopard frog reintroduction project. One of the things that through participation with this group identified was this need for more standardized monitoring and consistent monitoring among the various different entities that are doing the work. And that's where this project comes in. I won't spoil too much of it because Waverly is going to be talking about this in a moment, but we launched this Northeast Region Northern Leopard Frog project in 2022 that's really aimed at understanding current occupancy of northern leopard frogs and bullfrogs and BD across the landscape of Northeast Colorado, or more specifically the South Platte River Basin. And then we're also testing different methods for that, which you'll hear about in a bit, including environmental DNA, where 297 samples were collected and analyzed from 32 sites, and song meters or acoustic automated recorders were deployed at 16 sites. And that's it. So if anyone has any questions, I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer them, but I'd be happy to pass them along to Harry and or Tina. Yes.
Did you guys find any canyon tree frogs in your surveys in southeast Colorado?
Not this time.
Did you guys expect to? Did it seem like how some things happen in the past?
I did find them at one place in the southeast, 10 years ago.
Okay.
15 years ago.
Any others? All right, thank you.